And we're back to continue our coverage of North Penn High School's two-day mock convention. Throughout these past 2 days, the Millennial Party has been discussing platforms, developing planks, and today even casting ballots for their presidential nomination. Today, Texas was in fact the delegation that sent Bernie Sanders over the edge for the win. Throughout the voting, the different delegations chose two different ways to cast their votes. Some voted in a block, while others decided to split up their votes. Throughout the day, however, Bernie Sanders was the most popular and ended up rising through the charts to take the win with over 516 votes. While Donald Trump got small support, it seemed that most of the candidates tied down at the bottom. Right now we have North Penn News reporter Zach Arslan to give us a little bit more on what has happened throughout the day.
So throughout the day, I had the opportunity to meet and interview different North Penn students and ask them what they thought of the convention and what they were learning. So let's jump to that now. There was a lot of excitement on the floor of North Penn today as students engaged in day 2 of the simulated presidential convention.
It's a beautiful thing when you hear people that are like shy in school come up to the microphone and have the courage to speak in front of all their peers. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I never really knew like how the whole process worked of actually nominating a candidate or like how the convention works. So it was like really interesting to see like how it all comes together because I just kind of usually just on the news I hear who's running and then that the election's happening. I never really knew like the whole process behind it.
Students gathered by state in their caucuses and decided how to vote and who to vote for in the final nomination. Overall, it was a great opportunity for students to learn about the United States election process and to prepare for the actual election later this year.
Millennials outnumber everyone else, so I think that we really need to go out there and give our opinion because we're going to make a huge difference in this election. Everyone says that the millennials are lazy or that the millennials aren't informed or don't have opinions, but like this has really proved everyone wrong, that everyone does have an opinion and everyone does feel really strongly about this. So if like you want to make a difference and you feel that strongly, you should go out and vote and like try to get your candidate elected.
I'm a guy who likes to learn. For me personally, I'm not a U.S. citizen, so I don't really have the chance to exactly share my mind and speak and vote. But this gives me the chance to do that without being a U.S. citizen yet. So I really like that opportunity, and the fact that I can share it with all my student members, it's great. I like it.
Congrats to the new Millennial Party and their experience today. Reporting for North Penn News, I'm Zach Arslan.
Let's take a look at the different delegations that make up this new Millennial Party.
As day 2 flew by with a bang, each of the delegates gave a motivational speech in hopes to woo over the crowd and to get votes for their presidential candidate.
I wouldn't say that Marco Rubio is less popular. I would just say that less people know about him. But the people that do know about him realize that he's the right choice, the better candidate, because he knows what to do and he's going to do it, and he's not insane like some of our other Republican candidates.
Well, because I'm the step-nephew of Donald Trump, he decided, instead of choosing somebody that he doesn't know, he wanted someone with more experience. So he chose me. So he gave me a whole sack of pennies, $20 with the pennies, and that was my campaign money. You know, I kind of gave it around.
After each delegate gave their speech, each state broke off into individual caucuses, where they got to decide who to vote for, as delegates swarmed around in an attempt to sway their votes.
I'm walking around campaigning as far as my issues go right as we speak. It's very important that the millennials come out and vote, and I'm very excited to see what they have to say.
In the end, Bernie Sanders won over the crowd as over 519 representatives voted for him, which marks the first time in North Penn history that a delegate won the first round by an astronomical landslide. Reporting for North Penn News, I'm Julie Wirt.
To end our day 2 of our mock convention, students will be nominating a vice president nominee. Erica, as people are filing back into the auditorium and getting ready to start casting their votes and nominations, have you heard any new thoughts or have opinions changed as students had the time to break for lunch?
Hi, Maddie. I have not heard any new discussion surrounding what's going on with the vice presidential candidates at this point in time. What I had heard earlier, though, was, now that Bernie's off the table, he's, been elected president, we're now looking at, a lot of support from Marco Rubio on the right side. We still have the hardliners who are supporting Trump and, passionately supporting Trump. And if they're able to sway, a couple people with the passion that we've seen them bring to the table through the first day and a half, I think they could maybe win this. And then you also have to watch out for Hillary Clinton. She's going to get a lot of the female vote. She's, an advocate for all those rights, and she is she's the one that makes the most sense for the party to go with, because she supports their platform the most and the progressive nature of a lot of their issues. So I think those are the three names we need to watch out for, and that's who I heard people talking about beforehand. But now everyone's filing back in, and we're just getting set for the afternoon session here.
Thanks for laying that out for us and really giving us an idea of who to look out for and who could possibly win the nomination. As people are getting back into the swing of things and really getting back with their delegations, what kind of vibe are you getting from the people? It's been a long 2 days, a lot of politics, a lot of discussion. Do people still seem to be pretty amped up about the event?
Yeah, there's still a buzz going on around the room. People just coming back from lunch. They're fueled back up. They're hungry to get some more knowledge here and move forward. We still have a big vote coming for the vice presidential candidate, and now I think this one would be a lot closer. We have Bernie Sanders, our front runners, off the table now. We have a short list of people who it could be. So I think everyone's looking forward to it, and the mood in the room is there's a buzz in the air right now.
It's great to hear. Speaking of Bernie Sanders, let's take a look at the winning speech from his campaign manager.
Hello, everyone. I'm here today representing Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. I want you to do something right now. I want you to raise your hand if you are dissatisfied with our government. Together, we and Bernie Sanders are going to have a political revolution. We are going to end the corruption in politics that we continue to see. Right now, there is nothing stopping the very wealthiest people from pouring money into politics to get people who share their interests elected. The result is that people don't get elected with your interests in mind. They want to keep funding from their billionaire friends. This is why we are running this campaign without a super PAC, the engine of this corruption. We are going to get rid of this corrupting influence, and you will be amazed at the things that we can do. We are going to guarantee health care is a right to all people. We are going to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. We are going to end marijuana prohibition. We will guarantee tuition-free college for all Americans. We will take strong action against climate change. And we will rebuild our crumbling infrastructure. We will do this, and we will be heard. Thank you. Please vote for Bernie Sanders.
Throughout the day, we've seen some very passionate campaign managers who really do seem to embody the principles that their candidates actually do stand for. Eric, how have you seen these campaign managers interacting with the delegates, and have you seen them use any tactics or really given any facts to help support their cause?
I've seen a lot of conversations between between the delegates and the representatives for the candidates. It's been a lot. There's been a lot of back and forth, and there's been a lot of sites like sources cited to support themselves on both sides of the argument. I think Bernie Sanders' representative did probably the best job out of anyone. Convincing all of his naysayers that his policies were feasible and were in line with the platform. So I think there was a lot of conversation, and there was a lot of in-depth conversation, and I think the candidates walking around really spurred a lot of the delegates into maybe changing the way they were viewing things. So I do think it was very important for the delegates to talk to the candidates.
It's great to hear that they could have that type of interaction and really get to understand the candidates they were voting for a little bit better by speaking with their managers, who really do seem to have an expertise in this area. As we get ready for vice presidential nominations, can you tell us a little bit about how this voting is actually going to work?
We originally we were slated to have an additional ballot casting for the presidential vote. However, we did not necessitate that because of Bernie Sanders' landslide victory. So now we're going to jump right into the vice presidential nomination. So we're going to have delegates coming up to the microphones, and they're going to be submitting proposals for different people to run. And then once we have a cast of who's going to run, we're going to hear from these candidates, and then we are going to have a vote. I'm not sure at this point whether it will be another majority audible vote, or are we going to bring the individual state delegations up to vote. I think the latter would be a lot better. It's what we did with the presidential vote, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't do it here. But I think we can expect a very passionate last segment here of this mock convention 2016.
Either way, it sounds like it's going to be a very successful opportunity, and it's a great way for students to really get their opinions out there again and just try to push through and have somebody for the vice presidency. As we're wrapping up day 2, what do you think is probably the most important thing for students to take from this rare event?
Understanding, I think the understanding of the civic duty and how we can get involved in the political process, even at a young age. You know, we have a big presidential election coming up here, and you know, it's going to fall on the shoulders of all of us to get out there and go vote. And understanding, you know, how this process works, I think makes it a little bit less daunting. So people will be more willing to go out to the polls because they understand what they're doing and how it impacts their community. So I think this will help people gain understanding of what's going on, and then they will be able to go and apply that to the actual real world and real world politics.
Great, thanks, Eric. I hope, in fact, that they do carry on what they've learned today and what they're taking from the mock convention. It really is such a great opportunity, since it only does occur every 4 years with each presidential election. And as we mentioned earlier, any candidate that has ever been elected as a presidential nominee at our mock conventions hasn't gotten the presidential candidacy. What do you think, if Bernie Sanders does in fact win the 2016 presidency, what do you think that says about our North Bend High School mock convention as a whole?
I think it would not necessarily reflect more on our mock convention as it would the changing climate of the United States itself. I think that if he's going to win if he would win the presidency, I think he would need a lot of the younger people, the millennial generation, you know, which we're supporting here at our mock convention. I think he'd need to get them out to the polls in large numbers, and I think it would more reflect this changing demographic of who's voting and who's in power and who's calling the shots here in the United States. And I think this just shows us that if that is the case, and they're going to come out and they're going to be the ones voting, that this is the direction that the country is going to eventually take.
Awesome. I really hope that the students will continue to stay involved. After seeing multiple different people speak to the students and really try to get different messages out there, what do you think are some key concepts that students will take away from having actual political figures talk to them?
I think the courage to get out there and try new things and do it, and understanding that voting and being part of the political process is part of their civic duty. So I think those are the two main themes that I think people are pulling from those speeches that they've heard.
Awesome, thanks. We're going to throw to the podium now to check out what's going on with our vice presidential nominations.
Official qualifications still kick in. They have to be at least 35 years of age. You have to be a natural-born citizen, and you have to be a resident of the U.S. for at least 14 years. So other than those 3 qualifications, we're listening to your nominations. So just take a minute or two, think about it, and then we'll open up the microphones, and you can nominate whoever you think would be a good vice president for Bernie Sanders. right, folks. Before we start going to microphones, one of your colleagues has asked for a moment to speak to you, and I'm going to grant that. So I'm going to turn the mic over for a little bit here to Devin Robertson, who has a nice message for you.
I know you all heard me talking yesterday and arguing with almost everybody here. But there really is an important message over the past 2 days that we need to learn, and it's the power of the voice. In a world where we live in fear, we prevail. In a world where we live in poverty, we live on. In a world where we live by the hand of our government, we fight for what we need, want, and deserve. We fight for issues like the legalization of marijuana. We fight for gun violence and the people that are struck down by police. We fight for Black Lives Matter. We fight for LGBT rights and gender equality. And we fight for our right and deservance of education. We sat here for the last 2 days debating and arguing about issues that plague our country today. We will get places in life, we will overcome the obstacles that have been set forth upon us by our government. We are millennials, and I urge you to join me and millions of others that are going to decide our future in voting. We have the power to do so, and it all starts with the power of our voice. Thank you.
That's the message we've been trying to bring, and thank you, Devin, for putting it so eloquently. All right, now let's see who you think would be a good vice president. Anyone has any ideas, come to a microphone. Microphone number 2.
I would like to nominate former Harvard professor and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Okay. What state is Elizabeth Warren from?
Massachusetts.
Okay, so Elizabeth Warren. Microphone number 3.
The state of Texas would like to nominate Hillary Clinton for vice president because she has the foreign policy experience that many say Bernie Sanders lacks.
All right, Hillary Clinton. Microphone number 1.
I would also like to nominate Elizabeth Warren.
Okay. Elizabeth Warren again. We'll try, if the name has already been nominated once, we don't need to hear it again. All right. Microphone 5.
I would like to nominate Kanye West.
I knew that was inevitable. Kanye West is apparently only 34 years of age. Which is why, is it now here at 38? Look it up. Well, use my phone. Someone else will use my phone, because if you wait for me to look it up, you'll be going to second period tomorrow. Okay. Nobody's back there. Microphone 6.
Wiz Khalifa. No, not Wiz, Snoop Dogg. You talking about? We want to smoke that loud.
Microphone 2.
The state of Wyoming would like to nominate Martin
All right,
O'Malley.
hold on. I couldn't hear.
The state of Wyoming would like to nominate Martin O'Malley for vice president.
Martin O'Malley. And the iPhone tells me that Kanye is 38. And Wiz Khalifa is only 28, so sorry. Microphone 1.
Mr. Steve Henry.
I know for a fact that he's over 35. So we'll take the Steve Henry nomination. Microphone 3.
Former law school attendee and lawyer Brian Haley.
I'm not a U.S. citizen. Trump banned me. I'm not a U.S. citizen. Microphone 3.
I would like to nominate DJ Khaled. He can teach America the keys to success.
All right, I'm 55 and I didn't know that name. Who was that again? Again, I don't even know how to spell it, let alone who it is. All right, how many we got? Microphone 2.
I would like to nominate Harrison Ford.
I'm sorry, didn't he just die? Come on. Microphone 4.
I would like to nominate Miss Daywalt.
I meant in real life. Microphone 4.
I would like to nominate Miss Daywalt.
Mrs. Daywalt does not look a day over 35. Oh. How he's born? Okay. All right, up. One more. Microphone 3.
I would like to nominate Mr. Brumbaugh.
To win that challenge, I don't know. The Brumbaugh challenge. Microphone 4.
I'd like to nominate John Cena.
Are we at 10 now? All right, unfortunately, we can't take any more than 10 nominees. So we're going to get these nominees in the system, and then we're going to do the roll call of the states.
Well, it seems as though students didn't really stick with the candidates we had discussed earlier. Erica, what do you think sparked that outburst of non-political figures?
I think that there was a measure of spontaneity to that one. I was a little befuddled by some of the people that they were suggesting, but I think we did see a couple of the candidates we had discussed earlier were on that ballot. I think Hillary's on that ballot. So I'm interested to see where it goes from here. It seems as if it's almost becoming a popularity contest, but I guess that means that the Millennial Party feels as if Bernie Sanders will do a good enough job at the top end, and that the Secret Service will keep him clean and not have to worry about anything, so that the vice president can just go out and I guess be a people person. I guess that's what they're saying they're looking for here in a vice president. But it'll be interesting. We're having the roll call of the states, so it'll be a very heated discussion about what's going on. I think there's going to be a lot of passion in this vote, so I'm interested to see where this will go.
Well, things can end up taking an interesting path this second time around, but let's see what's going on for the roll call of the states.
I can over my old brain. You got some social studies teachers, Mr. Brumbaugh, Mr. Henry, Ms. Daywalt. You had Elizabeth Warren. Who else? Kanye West, Harrison Ford. DJ Khaled. Something like that.
You, Mr. Henry, Mrs. Daywalt, Brumbaugh.
I got those. Is there any other real? Oh, Hillary Clinton. And Martin O'Malley. These guys in the back are the best. They already got it up. All right. Want to give me the list? All right. We'll give you another couple minutes to poll your state delegation. John Cena was number 11. We can only fit 10 on there. My message has not been received.
Well, after seeing some surprising nominations for the possible vice presidency, we need to turn things over to Maddie to see what her opinion is on these new candidates.
Just as Erica said earlier, I believe now as this second day starting to wind down and we're talking about vice presidency, the students are starting to dwindle in their attention span, and instead of nominating all political figures as we had done for the presidential nomination, they decided to choose some members of our society. And like it was rumored that Kanye West would run for president in 2020, it wouldn't surprise me that they're trying to put him as vice president for the 2016 year. They did mention some political figures such as Hillary Clinton, Martin O'Malley, and Elizabeth Warren. It'll be interesting to see who they actually come out with on top as their vice president nomination. And just as we discussed earlier, and they are not doing the audible vote, they're doing it as a roll call of the states. So like for the presidential, they'll call each state up to the microphone, they'll place their vote, and then they'll tally it up to see who has taken the win of the vice presidency. If it is a political figure, like we had said before, it'll be neat to see if the same party as Bernie Sanders will be a vice president or not. My biggest guess is that Kanye West will take the vice presidency nomination.
Thanks, Maddie. It seems like the nomination is pretty much open for grabs at this point, with 10 very different candidates with either no political background at all or a very strong political background. It'll be interesting to see who accompanies Bernie Sanders for the presidential. But let's take a look at what's going on right now at the convention.
All right. Can we get the great state of Alabama up to a microphone? Microphone 2.
All right, for Alabama, we have 13 on Mr. Henry, 3 on Elizabeth Warren, 1 on DJ Khaled, and another one for DJ Khaled.
All right, so again, repeat it again.
13 on Henry, 3 on Warren, and 2 for DJ Khaled.
So Mr. Henry, it looks like there's 5 kids in that class you're going to have to fail. The great state of Alaska.
Alaska's voting 9 to Mr. Brumbaugh.
9 for Brumbaugh. Arizona.
The state of Arizona has 19 votes for Ms. Daywalt.
19 for Daywalt. We got a social studies run going. The state of Arkansas. Looks like they're coming to microphone 1.
We would like to give all 21 votes to DJ Khaled.
21 votes to the DJ guy. The state of California. Looks like microphone 4.
On behalf of the state of California, 54 votes for Mr. Henry.
54 votes for Henry. State of Colorado. I don't even see where they're... Where's Colorado? I don't see you. Oh, there you are. Microphone 5.
The great state of Colorado votes for Harrison Ford, 1 vote, 5 votes for Brumbaugh, and 2 votes for Kanye West.
2 for Kanye West, 5 for Brumbaugh, and 1 for Harrison Ford.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Connecticut. Microphone 6.
It's a major key
11 votes for DJ Khaled. Key to success.
How many was that?
11 votes.
11 votes for DJ. Delaware. Microphone 6.
The state of Delaware has 9 votes for Elizabeth Warren.
9 votes for Elizabeth Warren. Washington, D.C. Microphone 1.
We want to give 5 votes to DJ Khaled.
5 votes to DJ Khaled. Florida. Microphone 3.
Florida, 32 votes for Warren and 1 vote for Brumbaugh.
32 for Warren, 1 for Brumbaugh. Huh? Was it 32? All right, we're going to treat this like a Russian election. That was 32. Georgia, you're on my mind. It's the kind of humor you get in my room every day. Number 1.
Georgia would like to have 9 votes for Warren, 2 votes for Kanye, and 5 for Harrison Ford.
5 for Harrison Ford, 2 for Kanye, 9 for Elizabeth Warren. Hawaii. Microphone 1.
The Aloha State of Hawaii would like to give 4 votes to O'Malley and 1 for West.
4 votes to O'Malley, 1 from Kanye West. Idaho. Microphone 1.
The state of Idaho would like to give 14 votes to Kanye West and 7 to Mr. Henry.
7 votes for Henry, 14 for Kanye West. Illinois.
The state of Illinois
Microphone 4. Sorry, you're already there.
gives 19 votes to DJ Khaled and 1 to Kanye West.
19 for DJ, 1 for Kanye. That sounds almost like a rhyme and a rap. Indiana, 24. Excuse me, Indiana. Sorry. Looks like microphone 6.
The 4 delegates left in Indiana unanimously vote for Harrison Ford. That's 4 for Harrison Ford.
4 for Harrison Ford. Iowa. Looks like nope. There he is, microphone 4.
Help me help you and give 13 votes to Mr. Henry.
13 votes for Henry. Kansas. Microphone 4.
2 for O'Malley, 5 for Khaled, and 7 for Kanye West.
I heard 2 for O'Malley.
5 for Khaled and 7 for Kanye West.
7 Kanye, 5 Khaled, and then the 2. Kentucky.
No. 18 votes for DJ Khaled.
18 votes for DJ. Louisiana. It's like we're heading to microphone 4.
We'd like to do 2 votes for Elizabeth Warren, 1 vote for Harrison Ford, and another one for Mr. Henry.
2 for Warren, 1 for Ford, 1 for Henry. Maryland. Coming down to microphone 2.
10 for Brumbaugh, 1 for West.
10 for Brumbaugh, 1 for West. Massachusetts. Bueller. There we go. Microphone 6.
2 Kanye West, 1 Ford.
2 for Kanye West, 1 for Ford. Michigan. Microphone 4.
35 for Mrs. Daywalt.
35 for Mrs. Daywalt. Minnesota. Microphone 2.
The state of Minnesota would like to give all 10 votes to Mr. Henry.
Henry, 10 votes. No, which state? So Mississippi. Microphone 6.
Mississippi has 19 votes for Kanye West and 1 for DJ Khaled.
19 for West, 1 for Khaled. Montana. Microphone 6.
9 votes for Warren.
9 votes for Elizabeth Warren. Nebraska. Microphone 1.
Nebraska tallies 3 votes for Kanye West and 3 votes for Mr. Henry.
3 and 3, West and Henry. Nevada. Any of my Nevada students still here? New Hampshire. Huh? Apparently I forgot Maine. So we'll do Maine now. I teach social studies, not the alphabet.
3 votes for DJ Khaled and 6 for Mr. Henry.
6 for Henry, 3 for Khaled. Is New Hampshire here? New Jersey.
$25 votes to Mr. Haley.
New Mexico. New Mexico. Wait, somebody's coming. There we go. Microphone 5.
All 10 for DJ Khaled.
Khaled, 10. New York. Oh, all right, just go over there. New Hampshire's now here. Sorry, I didn't see you. What did New Hampshire want?
You smart, you loyal, you're a genius. 8 votes DJ Khaled, 1 vote Henry.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about me. New York.
Mike 5.
Oh, Mike 5.
23 votes to Warren, 23 votes to Henry, and 2 votes for Khalid.
22 to Warren, 22 to Henry, 2 to DJ. North Carolina. I missed Missouri too.
North Carolina would like to give all 29 of its votes to the Brumbaugh.
Sam Brumbaugh. Did I miss Missouri too? All right. North Dakota.
We'd like to give all 10 votes to Mr. Steve Henry.
Mr. Steve Henry. Ohio. Microphone 6.
You missed Missouri, so.
Which one did I miss?
Missouri.
All right, I just called him again. Missouri, what do you got?
20 for DJ Khaled and 2 for Harrison Ford.
20 for Khaled, 2 for Ford. How about Ohio? Microphone 5.
Shout out Jose Marcial. And the state of Ohio was giving Kanye West 20 votes and Miss Daywalt 4.
20 for Kanye, 4 for Daywalt. Oklahoma. Seeing no movement. Oregon. Oh, here comes Oklahoma.
21 votes for DJ Khaled.
21 votes for DJ. Oregon. Oregon.
Right here.
Where are you?
11 votes for Henry.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Microphone 3.
The state of Pennsylvania would like to give all 27 votes to DJ Khaled.
27 for Khaled. Puerto Rico. Looks like we're coming down to 4.
Puerto Rico has 2 votes for DJ Khaled, 2 votes for Harrison Ford, 1 vote for Mr. Henry, and 1 vote for Elizabeth Warren.
Can you do that real quick again?
2 votes for Ford, 2 votes for Khaled, 1 vote for Henry, and 1 vote for Warren.
Thank you. Rhode Island. Microphone 6.
We have 6 votes for Henry and 2 votes for West.
6 for Henry, 2 for West. South Carolina. Microphone 1.
South Carolina would like to give all 27 votes to Steve Henry.
They only have 12. They only have 12 delegates. Tennessee. Oh no, South Dakota, sorry. South Dakota. Microphone 5.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. First, shout out to Dame, my twin brother. And we got Daywalk for 57.
No. You didn't have 57 votes.
There's a lot of people over here, so.
All right. Tennessee. I'm sorry, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Now we're back to, where are we at? What's the matter? Oh. It should have been 12, sorry. Can you take 45 away? And then we're going to try 20, we're going to try Tennessee.
For Tennessee, we have 6 for DJ Khaled, 1 for Kanye, and 10 for Daywall.
10 for Daywall, 1 for Khaled, 6 for Kanye. Texas.
We have 161
No, you don't.
votes.
You only have 75.
If you don't accept our votes, we'll secede.
Wait. I have to ask, is that a threat or a promise?
Okay, don't accept.
No votes? Utah. Utah. Up. Microphone 6.
16 votes for DJ Khaled.
All right, I heard DJ. 15 for DJ. Vermont.
The state of Vermont would like to give 6 votes to DJ Khaled.
Virginia. Microphone 1.
The home of Rob Lowe would like to give all of its 33 votes to Stephen Cornelius Henry.
33 votes for Henry. Washington.
The great state of Washington, home of Nirvana, home of grunge rock, home of endless rain, the place that brought you Starbucks latte, Amazon Prime, and Microsoft Windows, has 1 vote for Ford and 18 votes for, of course, DJ Khaled.
18 votes for DJ. All right. West Virginia. Now, microphone 6, or are you done there? West Virginia, where are you at? Microphone 5.
10 votes for DJ Khaled,
Wisconsin. Coming down to microphone 5.
13 for Khaled.
Wyoming. Microphone 2, sorry.
Wyoming would like to give all 15 votes to Mr. Henry.
Texas, are you going to vote?
The state of Texas, by unanimous decision, 60 votes for Mr. Henry.
All right, the ayes have it. All right, folks, if I can get the PowerPoint up real quick, I want to give a big thanks as we close. What does Mike 5 want?
Mrs. Daywalt would like to give all her votes to DJ Khaled.
We're done. We're done. We're done. We'll shut down the mics, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All kidding aside, the vice presidential vote usually comes down to a lighter moment. You've done a great job these last 2 days, being respectful, listening to people's opinions, expressing your opinion, trying to organize support for your ideas and your candidates. I'd like you to give yourselves a big round of applause, please. I'll be right with you. Gotta go all the way to the end. Apparently I'm going the wrong way. All right. Just get me to the end where your names are. I had a group of students that came to me back as far as September and into October to start this process. And I wanted to put their names up on the screen so that you could see all the people that put in time, including, there we go. I have the same problem at home with the remote. I can't get the channel to change, and then my son tells me I'm pointing it the wrong way. But this could not have happened without your colleagues. This program is always run by students. They come up with the ideas. They came up with the independent party. They came up with the Bulldog. They decided what issues. They wrote the platforms. They're the ones who put in all the time. They didn't get paid for it. They don't get extra credit for it. It's not a classroom assignment. They did it on their own. So again, I know you just did it, but I'd like to give my heartfelt thanks to all of you. It's been a pleasure working with you, and thanks for all your efforts. All right, we are at the end of 8th period now. And I know for many of you, it's been a long 2 days. We have 9th period to go, so I've talked to Mr. Bauer, and basically the way that we're going to work this is you're going to return to 9th period now. We're going to shut this thing down. Oh, hold on. If you're done, now you go back to your 9th period class, and the teachers have been informed that you'll go back to 9th period. If you want, and I've had a number of students during the lunch period come to me and say, we're not done. We want to talk some more about the issues. So there we go. If you would like to leave, you are excused to go back to 9th period. If you want to stay and continue conversations about issues, I'm going to ask you to move down to the front. Okay? So your choice. Go back to ninth period or stay and hear some more information about issues.
Well, in an extremely tight race between North Penn High School history teacher Mr. Henry and famous rapper DJ Khaled, Texas was able to bring Mr. Henry out on top by delegating all of their votes to him to make him the nomination for vice president. Eric, can you talk a little about the mood in the room as students started getting extremely anxious and really cast their support in many different directions?
Yeah, I'll be honest. That was that was the kind of vote we were looking for from the presidential election. That was a very tight race all the way down to the end there, and I thought we built up a little bit of suspense with Texas pulling a very typical Texas move and deciding it was them against the world, and if they didn't get more electoral votes, they were going to secede. We heard transfer of secession down there from them, so. I thought that was very interesting. And then it came down to the end. They decided to put all their votes into Mr. Henry. So it was a very close race, and it was very entertaining. And there was a lot of passion down here on the floor, and a lot of people were getting really into it. So I think it was a good way to lock back in here for the end of the day.
It was great to see the convention both days filled with such passion, and even day one just discussing the planks and establishing a party platform that students were actively involved and really just getting their opinions out there. And it's just great that North Penn is able to host such a great experience for future voters. Maddie, as we wrap up our two-day coverage of our convention, talk a little bit about what you saw and what do you think students can take from it and just the convention as a whole.
You know, we've had many guests down here in the studio over the past 2 days, and everyone's biggest message was to take anything that you've learned out of this and apply it to your future decisions. Who knew that our guesses in this TV studio would be wrong, that Mr. Henry, a history teacher, would come on top. It's been a great time. It's definitely a unique opportunity for the students that are in this building at this time, since we only hold it every 4 years, and I'm glad that through North Penn Television and North Penn High School that I've been able to experience this cool simulated convention.
Thanks, Maddie. It was great that we had you to talk to some of our guest speakers and really get to know a little bit about the campaign managers to the candidates. And another thank you to Eric for continuing his coverage right from the midst of the convention and giving us just a mood of everyone down there and just letting us know what was going on, what the students were thinking. And again, this mock convention was a great way for the history classes to come together and really just discuss politics, and the students now learn new things about what's going on in the world, current issues, and now they can take these skills out to vote for themselves when they are indeed eligible to vote. And it seems that the caucuses in general, when doing the presidential nomination, got along. They really showed their support for Bernie Sanders. And then even when they decided to nominate a Republican candidate, pretty much all leaned in the same direction. With our vice presidential nominations, though, we had a wide spectrum of nominees from North Penn High School history teachers to musicians to other political figures. It seemed that the race was extremely tight. We saw a lot of action, people getting very passionate, even some booing, though DJ Khaled was the second place winner by only a small, actually Texas's votes basically. People were indeed booing Khaled, showing such a strong division between the two nominations. But it's great that a history teacher was able to run away with the vice presidency, considering the amount of knowledge they actually do have about politics and government and how it works. And again, the students were given such a great opportunity, though this convention is only held every 4 years, to get actively involved. And even as Mr. Haley stated towards the end, students are so eager that they would indeed like to stay and continue discussing. And it really just shows the maturity, the level of maturity, and just how much students really want to continue learning new things and expressing their opinions. And overall, this convention was a huge success. It was 2 days filled with knowledge and learning and passion and great conversation. And I think students will really continue to use this in their everyday lives and really apply it in school and outside of school. And it's just overall just a wonderful opportunity that North Penn is able to have. So wrapping up our coverage of our 2-day 2016 mock convention, I'm Maddie Payton, and thank you for tuning in.